Hi and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Paul and Juliet, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Juliet's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and the motivations we give the dogs while we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Paul's using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he'll keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, which leaves the left hand free to give a correction. The correction, if needed, is just a tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Paul will keep that collar high up behind Juliet's ears, which will give you the most control over her while you're trying to work her through her commands. You'll notice that Juliet is seated very nicely on Paul's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. The first command that we'll demonstrate for you today is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Juliet, heel. At that point, you'll just take off walking, and Juliet should walk nicely on your left at your pace, and then incorporate it into the heel exercise as an automatic sit. So anytime you stop moving your feet, Juliet should be seated nicely on your left, waiting for her next command. Very nicely done. The next command we'll demonstrate for you is the stay command. The stay is a hand and a voice command. You're going to use the open flat of your left palm and the one-word firm command to stay. This is a great exercise to help develop her maturity and self-control, so practice this often. Build up her ability to stay for longer periods of time. When Paul returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her, and she should remain seated until she receives praise or another command. Very nicely done. And we'll run through the heel, the sit, and the stay again for you. Obedience training is a great mental exercise for the dogs. It tires them out a lot faster than physical exercise can. So if there's a time of day where your dogs are especially excitable, that's when you're going to want to practice your obedience commands with them. It can be as short as 5 to 10 minutes. This time, instead of returning back, Paul will demonstrate the recall or the come on command. Juliet, come is the command. She comes in, sits nicely right in front, and then back to heel position. We'll show that to you again. Stay. Command is Juliet, come, comes in, sits nicely right in front, back to heel position. Very nicely done. We'll heel her out of that. You can see that Juliet really pays attention to Paul, as she does with all of her trainers here. She really does enjoy her time working through the commands. The sporting and working and herding breeds are all bred to do a job, and this really takes the place of that. They really do enjoy it. The next command we'll demonstrate is the down command. You're going to use the open flat of your left palm straight down towards the ground. Beautifully done. She should be able to hold the down stay longer than the sit stay. You can practice that and build up her ability to stay for longer periods of time. When Paul walks back to her, he'll walk all the way around her, returning back to heel position. Very nicely done. It's important to praise her. Let her know she's doing a good job. Keep her motivated. Paul will show you the down command again. Left hand straight down towards the ground. This time, instead of returning back to her, Paul will demonstrate the recall from the down position. She comes in, sits nicely right in front, gets some praise, and then back to heel. Very good job. Nicely done. The last command that we'll set up for is down from a distance. Paul will leave Juliet in a sit stay. And this time he'll give the down command from the end of the training leash. Very nice job. Good job. These are all the formal obedience commands that Juliet has learned while she's been away at school. She's such a sweet dog, and we've had a pleasure having both her and her sister, and we thank you so much for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainers.